Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Crypto Top 10. It is me, John, here as always to give you some of the trending articles in the crypto news space on the daily, except for like yesterday when I got slapped with a surprise 12-hour shift that kicked my butt. Whew, that was a rough one, but you gotta love that overtime. So, I do apologize for that, but I really would have been able to give you anything quality last night. I was destroyed. So, first things first, thanks to everyone who has subscribed. I really do appreciate it. And down in the description, you will find a link where you can check out all these articles for yourselves. I think that does it for everything I normally say off the top. So, without further ado, let's pop on down. We're going to be talking about the Quant Network. It's in the top 100, and we don't hear about it too much. But AUCloud, or AUCloud, which is the Australian government's indigenous cloud infrastructure provider. I don't know if indigenous is the right word there, but whatever. They've partnered with Quant Network to develop the Australian government's blockchain platform. So that's a pretty darn good get for the Quant Network. They get to develop a government's blockchain platform. Very good. So this integration would benefit the Australian government as well as the country's defense and critical national industries by providing heightened levels of functionality and security. The fact that the blockchain is going to be doing all that for Australia, they're going to integrate it into the country's defense. That is quite a get. Now, Australia, we're going to talk about it later, but they are very blockchain friendly, Bitcoin friendly. So, notably, Quant Network's operating system will be integrated into the AUCloud software as a service cloud system, which will create a blockchain as a service system. Again, fantastic. As AUCloud Director Scott Wilkie notes, several Australian government departments are currently using different blockchains. That's right, Australian government is using blockchains, plural. As I said before, they are very blockchain friendly. But they do have issues when these different blockchains interact. He did note the government departments need the interoperable functionality that blockchain offers, noting that with the security of the AUCloud platform combined with Quant Network's Overledger blockchain operating system, the government departments would function more smoothly and they would all be on the same software system. So, Gilbert Veridian, founder and CEO of the Quant Network, expressed his satisfaction. I feel like that's too vague. I'd go with joy, exuberance, with the partnership. He noted that Quant has been working with AUCloud for over 1 year on how to best integrate its blockchain operating system into the AUCloud program. So this is not an announcement of, hey, we're exploring this. This is an announcement of, hey, we're about to do this. So even better for all you quant heads out there. The collaboration would enable the Australian government departments to implement blockchain technology within minutes instead of days with just, quote, 3 lines of code, making it short, sweet, and simple. I gotta love that KISS rule. Alrighty. So we do, again, need to note Australia is very blockchain friendly as a country, like incredibly blockchain friendly. Australia was among one of the initial states to recognize the potential of blockchain technology and incorporate it into various sectors in the country and their government. As they said, they've already got a few different departments running with blockchains already. Additionally, a Senate committee recently reported that the blockchain technology would drive $175 billion worth of global business by 2025, and adding that this amount should probably be more than $3 trillion by 2030. And can't even, I'm not even done. The National Stock Exchange of Australia announced it was building a blockchain-based settlement and clearing system. So literally, Australia is integrating blockchain into every aspect of its industry and government, and Quant is going to be leading the way on it. You know, I've not paid a lot of attention to Quant, but you got a freaking country to back you. You must be doing something right. So like I said, for all you Quant heads out there who've been holding since the rough days, good. Congrats. I hope the good times continue to roll for you. But hey, let's hop on over Talk about AAVE, Maker, YEARN, getting some pretty strong gains, rallying back a little bit. They are three of the most important protocols on Ethereum's DeFi networks. Like, they run on Ethereum, and it's awesome, but it's also pushing Ethereum to its technical limits. So I wish Ethereum would get its crap together. Anyways, so they've accumulated a total gain of nearly 25% over the past 24 hours. AAVE is getting an increase of about 12. Maker went up 8.75, and YEARN about 4.1. The rise in the above protocols coincides with an increase in Ethereum's price. It's up about 3.2% when this article was written. But in addition to an increase in the price of the main cryptocurrencies led by Bitcoin and Ethereum, the above three protocols all have pretty good, important announcements and updates coming out. So the YEARN Finance team just announced one of its most anticipated products, YEARN version 2 vaults. The new product will include new vaults and strategies that liquidity providers will be able to leverage to use as collateral and take out loans, which could probably help with their yield farming stuff. The YEARN's V2 vaults will have an automated process with pooling strategies, which is pretty darn new. And it will allow users to save on gas fees, and it's going to be automated and all this stuff. So it's a really good upgrade for them. Maker's got a couple things going on as well. They just managed to bring the price of their stablecoin DAI closer to $1. It's been trading above, I believe, for a little bit now because demand has been so high, and it's actually one of the preferred options for investors to use as collateral. So getting it back down to that dollar level is a good thing. They also announced yesterday that Loopring, Compound, and Chainlink are now available in the protocol's vaults to use as collateral, which means they are going to be able to really see the total value locked now increase even more as more and more coins are being able to be used in the DeFi network. And not to be left out, Loan Protocol AAVE has concluded the voting process that we talked about a couple days ago. With overwhelming affirmatives, the AAVE team will be migrating the Lend token over to AAVE. So AAVE will no longer have the ticker symbol of Lend. It will have the ticker symbol of AAVE. And a part of the process, it'll be a 100-to-1 split, and it'll add new technical functions to the token itself. So again, all three protocols got quite a bit going on for them, bunch of different announcements, and it's contributing to a good day for all of them. I'm really excited to see what happens with all three of these coins in the future. I own one of the three. Can you guess which one? A little fun thing for you. Hey, let's hop on over then. A little update on Cardano, since they're working with just the United Nations on their project Catalyst to support startups in the field of microfinance in developing countries. It's pretty niche, but they're still working with the United Nations. They've also got a lot of other stuff going on. The most recent episode of IOHK's monthly Cardano development update, Tim Harrison and Arpanya Ju reported on the numerous advances and news in the Cardano ecosystem and interviewed a few other members at Input Output Hong Kong. So Alan McSherry reported on the completed implementation of metadata transaction Cardano. Talked about that on the channel, I believe, this week. The solution allows data to be permanently stored on the blockchain. It can be done in several different ways, and one will allow for larger amounts of data to be stored. So it's a nice little thing they got going on. The size of data that can actually be on the blockchain before you have to use what's called a Merkle tree is about 16 kilobytes minus the size of the UTXOs, which allows approximately 8 kilobytes to be stored on the Cardano blockchain per transaction. So it's not a crap ton. I feel like that's about what one of the original floppy disks back in the day would let you put on it. But it's still enough information that you can store a decent Word document on there. In order to make the use as easy as possible, IOHK has developed a service that handles the interaction with the wallet so that users only have to deal with one interface. So that's nice, making it user-friendly right off the get-go. And you can put a decent amount of information on there, like It's nothing crazy, but still you can have it permanently stored on the blockchain. It's kind of cool. You can write, like, I don't know, a love letter to your mistress or something, and it can be stored there forever for your wife to look at. How cool. So, as McSherry stated, there are numerous use cases arising from the solution, the most prominent of which will probably be the supply chain. Yeah, you can put orders and receipts, and they'll always be there on the blockchain for you to look back over. It's pretty cool. This article is actually very long, and I'm not going to go into all of it. And they do have a little video, so pop on down to the description, and you can actually listen to the Cardano update for yourself if you are so inclined. They've got a lot of stuff going. I didn't even touch on Prism or the project with the United Nations, just kind of mentioning it. They're working on a lot. Again, I remember talking to someone down in the comments asking about Zilliqa, and I gave him some advice, and some other guy piped in, was just like, nah, you should invest in Cardano. I agree with the guy. You should always invest in Cardano, especially if you haven't already. I love Cardano. I own Cardano. And this is why. They are working on so many different things. They have their hands in so many different pies. We're going to turn around one day, and they are going to be in the top 5, nipping at XRP's heels. I cross my fingers and hope. But, hey, let's hop on over to the next one. So, the SEC might not be done with Abra just yet. So, for those of you who don't know, back in July, the Securities and Exchange Commission, alongside the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, so the alphabet soup, the SEC and the CFTC, they fined Abra for providing trading on synthetic assets to Americans. So at the time, it looked at like the end of the matter. However, Cointelegraph, where I got this lovely article from, put a little Freedom of Information Act out there. For those of you who don't live in the United States, a Freedom of Information Act is a request by an entity or a single person to the government for details about specific things. The governments are actually required to provide us with certain details unless there's a reason not to. And in this case, the SEC cited exemption blah, 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 blah. It's an exemption that only applies to ongoing investigations, which raises some questions. So they reached out to Abra. The CEO, Bill Barheit, told Cointelegraph that the only outstanding issue was that Abra had not yet paid all of its settlement, saying what you refer to here as an ongoing investigation doesn't exist. The SEC can only close the case with Abra once the second payment is received in January. Okay. Representative for the commission told Cointelegraph, well, there might be matters before they close it, but they were deliberately vague, as they have to be. So the original fines that were leveled against Abra were, small in the grand scheme of things, only about $300,000. However, it's kind of like a signal to everyone else in the crypto space that the SEC is like, no, this is our area. Basically, Abra had offices in California and the Philippines, and they were offering like this synthetic trading. But they're like, no, we're not offering it to U.S. customers. It's like, well, you're based in the U.S., so if you're going to be here, you're going to follow our rules. The idea is to protect U.S. investors, but I personally think it's a little vague to be going after them for that when they have much bigger things on their plate. But, that's just me. That's just my opinion. I'm just some dumb guy on the internet. What do I know? But then hopping over to the next thing. So, in the continued saga of Uniswap, SushiSwap, and all that fun stuff, when SushiSwap was created, it was widely thought to have siphoned liquidity from Uniswap. However, Flipside Crypto is suggesting that actually it benefited Uniswap and it brought new money into its liquidity pools. For those of you who don't know, because you're not DeFi savvy, or, well, it's a lot for you to have to keep track of. Back in ye olden times, August 28th, SushiSwap announced that it would launch its own decentralized exchange, and many in the DeFi community referred to the project as a, quote, vampire mining attack. They forked away from Uniswap, which is the most popular decentralized exchange in the space, and they created an incentive structure for users to switch to their protocol by issuing sushi tokens as rewards. So they're basically like, oh, Uniswap's doing great. However, we're going to go over here and you can bring your stuff over and we'll actually give you something. So in order to facilitate this transaction, users who provided liquidity to certain Uniswap pools received sushi as a reward if they chose to migrate over on September the 8th. By the 9th of that month, more than $800 million worth of liquidity was migrated to SushiSwap, which left Uniswap with just over $400 million in total value locked. So that's it. Lights over for Uniswap, right? Well, absolutely not. SushiSwap quickly got a bad reputation because of its launch strategy, and when its lead developer liquidated $14 million worth of the sushi token and left, it kept up. The schism between the two exchanges eventually brought in new liquidity to Uniswap and actually forced them to launch their own token to remain competitive, which happened in ye olden times of like a week ago. According to Flipside, much of the liquidity that entered Uniswap during the SushiSwap launch appears to have come from new users and additional funds deposited into liquidity pools because they were trying to receive those sushi rewards, less so that stuff was actually stolen, or quote-unquote stolen from them. Since Uniswap launched their own token, like I said, in ye olden times of like a week ago, it was September 16th, so 2 weeks ago, forgive me, liquidity on Uniswap grew significantly. The total value locked has gone from $786 million to $2.09 billion, so they're doing pretty fine. Meanwhile, Sushi's total value locked has actually dropped 46%, all the way down to $402 million. They're really feeling the effects from everything that good old Chef Nomi, their lead developer, did. Look, Uniswap is the king. All these meme DeFi coins like SushiSwap, Hot Dog, Yam, and a bunch of others. I'm always hating on Yam, don't worry. They're just that. They're memes, and they're flashes in the pan that will make some people rich and make other people very unhappy. Uniswap, I think it might be one of the ones that's here to stay, so I would definitely keep an eye on it. But all right, oh man, stand up, stretch, and then let's get into the back ones. All right, well, hey, hopping on over, we just got our first crypto exchange that's going to get listed on the Nasdaq. It's called Diginex. Never heard of it? Me neither. So Diginex operates the Equus. Maybe you've heard of Equus? I still haven't. Cryptocurrency exchange. It's going to be the first one. Analysts say the listing bodes well for crypto among both retail and institutional investors. Yeah, it's the first. I could see Equus gaining some interesting and significant ground in the United States purely because they're going to get hyped up a little bit from all these articles. First crypto exchange this, first crypto exchange that. That's going to bring in some traditional traders. Could be good. It'll be good for them. It could be good for the space as a whole. But like I said, it's going to be the first company listed on the Nasdaq with a cryptocurrency exchange following the completion of its merger with 8i Enterprises Acquisition Corp., which is a special purpose acquisition firm. So basically, they just bought into and merged with a company already on the Nasdaq to do it. Well, hey, if it works, it works. CEO Richard Byworth called the listing a watershed moment for both Diginex and the cryptocurrency industry. I don't know about a watershed, but it's still interesting. The company says that it plans to continue building out its architecture and infrastructure, rolling out a suite of derivative products for the Equus cryptocurrency exchange, and expanding the reach of its Diginex Access multi-venue trading platform. Ooh, that is quite the mouthful. But hey, like I said, it could be a good thing because the Federal Reserve just this last month signaled its plans to keep rates near zero for probably another 3 years, as the recovery from COVID-19 is expected to take quite a bit of time. At least one financial analyst sees the Nasdaq listing raising the profile of the firm to the next level and opens up brand new opportunities for investors, as Diginex and Equus is a full-fledged exchange and it can lend some real legitimacy to the platform. Like I said, it's good for them. So the shareholders of 8i Enterprises previously approved this merger on September 15th. Diginex ecosystem includes Equus, the Diginet Access digital asset trading technology platform, the Diginex capital advisory firm, the Digivault custody provider, and the Beckley Park Asset Management, not to not mention the Digidestined. Dear Lord, so many digis. But still, nice little update, nice little blurb. I'm very interested to see what this will mean long term, but for now, it's really not going to do all that much for us. But we got a pretty interesting story. I was only going to have one article, but one lens into another. So let's talk about BitMex. So the United States CFTC has charged derivatives exchange BitMex with operating an unregistered trading platform and violating anti-money laundering regulations. Whew, that's a rough one. So according to a statement released Thursday, the CFTC filed a civil enforcement action in the Southern District of New York, which is, for those non-Americans or Americans who don't pay that much attention, the Southern District of New York is one of the most prestigious districts in the country. Like, if you're in the Southern District of New York, you are one step away from the Supreme Court, quite honestly. Yeah, it's very prestigious. A lot of really prominent judges have come out of there, and lawyers in that district are notoriously litigious. But they brought this enforcement action against 5 entities and 3 individuals who allegedly own and operate BitMex. So they charged Arthur Hayes, who is publicly known as the CEO of BitMex, as well as Ben Dello and Samuel Reed. The CFTC alleges that these individuals are owners and operators of BitMex through a maze of corporate entities. They list them all out. I'm not going to read them. So the CFTC is seeking disgorgement or restitution of all quote-unquote ill-gotten gains, civil monetary penalties, permanent trading bans, and injunctions against future violations. So, just the basic stuff. The commission is arguing that BitMex has illegally offered leverage trading services to retail traders to the tune of $1 trillion. Since 2014, the CFTC believes the exchange failed to, quote, take the most basic of compliance procedures, including the failure to register with the commission and the lack of KYC and anti-money laundering procedures. In addition to these civil charges, U.S. Attorney for the District of New York indicted Hayes, Dello, Reed, and Gregory Dwyer, BitMex's head of business development, for violating and conspiring to violate the Bank Secrecy Act. So yeah, the charges keep mounting. According to FBI Assistant Director William Sweeney, quote, one defendant went as far as to brag the company incorporated in a jurisdiction outside the U.S. because bribing regulators in that jurisdiction cost just a coconut. God, I love crypto. Not only is that racist, it's so many different things. I love it. It's hilarious, and it is exactly what I expected from a crypto exchange CEO. Yeah, we incorporated here. Cost a coconut. God. But yeah. So what did BitMex do? BitMex, they're promising to operate as usual. They posted a blog post this Thursday afternoon. They lashed out at the charges against the CFTC, and the Department of Justice have filed against them. Their statement claimed that from our earliest days as a startup, we have always thought to comply with applicable U.S. laws, as those laws were understood at the time and based on available guidance. What exactly quote-unquote applicable U.S. laws are will likely be the central theme to this case. BitMex has long maintained that it does not service customers in the United States. Bull crap. Others before the CFTC and Department of Justice have argued that this is a lie or false. The CFTC case rests on BitMex's failure to register with the Commission as a derivative exchange in the United States. The DOJ, on the other hand, argues that BitMex deliberately failed to implement effective Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering programs in violation of the Bank Secrecy Act. Both agencies assert that BitMex had years of warning that its operations were illegal. And they're saying that trading will continue as usual, despite the fact that, at least one of BitMex's founders was arrested earlier today, probably a few more by this point. This is going to be a continuing story. Never a dull moment in crypto. Oh, God. My personal recommendation is if you do a lot of stuff on BitMex, maybe check out Binance. Just maybe. Can't go to KuCoin because they're floundering with their own hack right now. So, yeah. But, hey, that will do it for the trending articles in the crypto news space. As always, my name is John with Crypto Top 10. I do want to say thank you to everyone who's made it to this point, whether you are subscribed or not. That is a Herculean feat and one that should be commended. And if you're not subscribed, there should be a little button around here somewhere that you can click so that way you can hear more from me about all these fun topics. And please pop down in the description, read up on everything going on with BitMex and AAVE and Cardano. There's so much going on. It's pretty awesome. Biggest winners in the past day in the top 10. Wow, which one's the least loser? Polkadot's only down. Bitcoin Cash, it's down 0.54%. That is the best performing asset in the top 10 in the past 24 hours. Good for them. Worst performing asset looks like it's Chainlink. They're down 2%. Not bad. Honestly, it's not bad. So, biggest winner in the past day, Ren is up 17% with Balancer down about 15-16% right behind it. Not too bad. Biggest loser being the Midas Touch Gold, down 18%. With AAVE in second. So, that'll do it for today. If you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, hop on down to the comments. Leave me a little something, and I might respond at some point. I don't know. I'm going to be working a lot the rest of the week, so, we'll see how things go. But, peace.